You are in the early phases of the predictive lifecycle project expected to deliver a product that will lead to a new line of business. Okay. According to the benefit management metrics, the expected customer acquisition in the first 6 months of the product launch is being tracked. Okay. In your project, the risk of not meeting this performance goal has been already identified. Based on the change in the environment, you see the probability of this risk has increased and crossed the risk threshold. What is the right thing to do? So I would say that this question involves multiple concepts, though the question is ultimately a simple one, but it involves some awareness of that, yes, there is a benefit management and there could be a matrix for tracking that benefit. And even if we have not delivered the deliverables, still we keep evaluating and revisiting the estimated benefits during the project execution. And what should we do when we have a situation where the estimated benefits are not seems to be happening and the probability of not seems to be happening is increasing? That is also coming out. So let's see our option. Option A, present your assessment of the risk in the upcoming governance review meeting. Not a bad choice, good choice overall. The only thing which is missing here is, do you need to wait for that? Yeah, because the risk has crossed the threshold. So in general, whenever I go for weekly, monthly milestone governance reviews, I need to present my overall project status and I need to give a status of the open risk and how are we going as per estimated benefits. So that's good idea. The only negative point about option A is it is something not considering the indicator which is coming in the question. The risk is crossing the threshold. Yeah, so you probably don't want to wait. You want to act now. Yeah. Option B, revisit the customer acquisition metrics based on the current trend to adjust expectation and plan accordingly. So this is saying, no problem. Let's change the metrics. Let's change the expected number of customer acquisition and lower them down based on our current trend. And we plan accordingly. We plan our expenses. We plan our profitable accordingly. Yeah. So you may end up doing it, but the question is clearly indicating that it may not be a desired situation because it is considered as a high priority risk. Now you have a situation and you can't take those calls yourself without consulting the governance group. Yeah, because risk is going beyond a threshold. So not a good choice. Project manager alone deciding and replanning the metrics alone. And usually benefit management matrices are not under control of project manager. You need to talk to the governance group to have adjustment in the benefit management matrices. So not a good choice. Option C, escalate the risk to the governance group. Now I purposefully made this question because by default, we keep thinking escalation is a bad idea. And this particular option also looks at a short option. But this is the right option here. Yeah, because question is clearly indicating you the risk is crossing the threshold. When the risk is crossing the threshold, we have a task related to governance. We do expect the governance group is expected to involve and make decisions related to changing environmental situation. So I definitely just easily can choose this particular option. Actually, it's a simple question because it clearly gives you an idea what should you do when your risk which crosses the risk threshold. Yeah. Ultimately, that's the line I need to read after reading the whole paragraph of the question. And simple answer is I escalate. I can think about as a risk response strategy also. I can think about escalation path as a governance management plan or overall governance plan for my project as well. Option D, since the risk does not impact your baseline, no immediate action is required. So not a good idea. We need to keep in mind, we in a new project management world is not only worried about our timelines and scope and cost, we are also expected to take care of business outcomes. So even if this question is not indicating any impact on scope or timelines or other things, but it is clearly showing impact on your benefit matrix. So you definitely need to escalate it because it is also crossing the risk threshold. You can't just remain silent about it. From an ECO perspective, this question is linked to a business domain task 3, which focuses on evaluate and address external business environmental changes and the impact on overall project boundaries. They call it scope in that particular task. It is also mapped to the process domain task 3, which is focusing on assess and manage risk because escalation response plan is coming from risk space. And it is also mapped to task 14, which is establishing project governance structure or working with a governance group appropriately to take support from them, escalating to them whenever needed. So major focus area for this question is governance, where we are checking that is the project manager have an awareness when to escalate to the governance group. Topics, majorly governance and risk management. Sometimes when you have a multiple topic, even if you navigate the question using one topic, you can find the right answer. So if someone has a good understanding of risk, may also navigate and says out of many, they escalate seems to be the good risk response strategy. That that is also very evidently coming out in the question. Someone has a good understanding of governance, also identify what should we do when we have a breach in threshold. I know I need to do an escalation. So there could be a multiple way to find the right answer. And this is basically the beauty of this particular question.